Welcome everybody. Today we're going to make an Easter egg tumbler. As normal, I'm starting off with a 20-ounce stainless steel tumbler from maker Flo Crafts. I did spray paint this white and am adding the epoxy onto the tumbler. I personally do not measure out the epoxy to specific amounts. I tend to pour it into a Dixie cup and then I just eye the measurement. Before you add your alcohol inks, you do want to hit this with a heat gun just to warm up that epoxy so your colors move around more freely. I decided to start with blue alcohol ink. I want to apologize right off the bat because I really wish I had my cup rotating in the opposite direction of what it is so that you could see the specific technique that is used for this tumbler. With alcohol inks, you want to place your drop and it will run down your cup. At this point, I'm just trying to get my base color and trying to make drips wherever I can so that I can then place my next color. I decided to go with a pinkish red, and when this starts to be dropped on the cup, it will start to make a purple effect because the blue and the pink are going to blend slightly and mix. The fun part of alcohol inks is, in my personal opinion, it makes a watercolor effect depending on how much you place or where you place it, whether it's light or more pigmented. As you can see, some of the pink is mixing with the blue, and it's starting to give it an interesting effect. I definitely did not want to speed up this process because it is important that you see how the alcohol inks work with each other, and different techniques can give you different results. At this point, I decide to add just a little bit of white. And what that does is it can allow it to give a wispy effect, a cloud effect. And I'm just dropping it. And when it comes back around, as you can see here, it does start to kind of lay on top of the alcohol inks. There are light sinking alcohol inks in white, and there are deep sinking white alcohol inks. And the name basically either allows them to stay above all of the other alcohol inks or sink to the bottom, and each of them give a different effect. I haven't used them enough to know which is the best or what it does specifically, but white is definitely fun to use in these. I'm just adding more color on top of some of the areas. It gives it a more in-depth appearance and helps to swirl around that ink. You can see here as it comes around that middle section, it's really starting to take off and into a really neat swirl pattern. The more you add on, the more of a pattern you will get. At any point, don't be afraid to hit this with a heat gun. It will warm up that epoxy and allow the alcohol inks to shift and move better. Just add in a few more drips, especially if you don't want to have those very obvious circular patterns. Hitting it with a heat gun will definitely help with that. As I was watching this tumbler spin, I remembered I had some rubbing alcohol in a spray bottle. So I just decided to spray it every so often, as you can see here. And it does make little tiny circles everywhere where the rubbing alcohol hits the alcohol inks. And what it ended up doing was allowing the alcohol inks to really move more freely. And this is what it started to look like once the turner had been going for a little bit. It's definitely starting to take on a really beautiful effect and look like an Easter egg. It would be fun to go hunting for Easter egg tumblers in your yard. Don't you think so? This cup is for sale on my Facebook page. The link is in the description. Thank you so much for watching. Please like my video and subscribe to my channel and leave comments. I'd love to respond. Bye everyone.